I walked in on my fiancée and my best friend, and somehow, my mom took their side. A year later, she helped them do something that shattered me all over again. I was heating up leftovers when my phone rang. Dad's name flashed on the screen. We hadn't spoken in months. He knew why. Everyone knew why. Still, I answered. "Hey," he said, voice low like he was calling from a church pew. "I know you're probably not gonna like this. But your mom asked me to call. She's worried." That pissed me off immediately. "She's worried?" I said. "After everything? Now she's worried?" There was a pause. A sigh. "She says you've been ghosting her." I didn't answer. Just let the silence stretch out until he cleared his throat and said, "She wants to see you." I hung up. The rage hit in slow waves. Not hot. Cold. The kind that makes your hands shake and your teeth grind. I stared at my reflection in the microwave door and saw someone I didn't recognize. Not because I looked different. Because I felt erased. Let me rewind. Last year, I proposed to Hannah. We were 3 years in. She was everything I thought I wanted. Soft voice, big dreams, always made you feel like the most important person in the room. My mom loved her. Sometimes I felt like she loved Hannah more than she loved me. "Don't you dare lose that girl," she told me once, half joking. "You marry her before someone else does." I thought she meant it like encouragement. Now I'm not so sure. Anyway, Hannah said yes. We set the date. Sent the invites. Everything was locked in. Then one night, I came home early. That was the beginning of the end. I'd been out with a buddy, but I forgot my laptop at home. I needed it for a client presentation. So I told him I'd swing by, grab it, and be right back. It was pouring. Windshield wipers barely keeping up. I remember laughing to myself, thinking how dramatic it all looked. Like a scene from a bad movie. But when I pulled up to the apartment, her car was there. Which was weird. She was supposed to be at a bachelorette dinner for her coworker. I walked in. Living room lights off. Bedroom door closed. I remember how quiet it was. Just the hum of the fridge and my heartbeat punching through my ribs. I don't know what made me do it. I wasn't suspicious. Not really. But I opened the door. And there she was. With someone else. Not just someone. My best friend. He saw me first. Jumped up, blanket falling off him like a magic trick. She didn't even scream. Just looked at me with this wide, glassy-eyed stare like I was the one who didn't belong. I didn't say anything. I didn't throw anything. I didn't even move. Just turned around and walked out. And as I stood outside in the rain, soaked through, hands clenched so hard my nails cut into my palms, I realized something. I didn't just lose a fiancé. I lost a brother. And I had no idea yet what was coming next. I moved out that week. Cancelled the venue. Blocked them both. I couldn't eat. Couldn't sleep. I stopped going to work. But the worst part wasn't what they did. It was what my mom did after. Because when I told her, she didn't say, "Oh my God." She didn't say, "I'm so sorry." She said, "There has to be more to the story." Like maybe I deserved it. That was the first crack. I told her I needed space. She said I was being dramatic. Then a few weeks later, I saw a picture online. Hannah. At brunch. With my mom. Smiling like nothing ever happened. I stared at that photo for a long time. My stomach twisted so hard I thought I might throw up. I sent my mom a single text, seriously. She left me on read. No apology. No explanation. Just silence. I didn't go home for Thanksgiving. Or Christmas. She didn't reach out until now. Through Dad, like a damn middle schooler. And after everything she'd done, I still said yes. I still agreed to see her. Because I needed to look her in the eyes and ask, why? I pulled into the driveway like I used to when I came home from college. Same house. Same front porch with the stupid garden gnome she insisted on keeping. But everything felt wrong. I sat in the car with the engine running for a full 5 minutes. Just breathing. Watching the curtains twitch. She was probably peeking through them, waiting. I wasn't ready. But I wasn't gonna sit there all day either. So I got out. Walked up. Knocked. She opened the door with a smile like it was any other Sunday. "There's my boy." I didn't hug her. Didn't smile. Just stepped inside. The smell hit me, cinnamon and dryer sheets, and for a second I was 10 again. Safe. Home. But that version of home didn't exist anymore. She led me to the kitchen. Coffee already made. Muffins on the table like it was 2015 and we were talking about football. You look tired, she said, sitting down like this wasn't a crime scene. I wonder why, I said. My voice came out flatter than I meant. She gave me this look. That disappointed mom look. I hated how fast it worked on me. So, she started. You've been ignoring me. My jaw tightened. You've been having brunch with my ex-fiancée. She didn't even flinch. She reached out. She was a mess. She needed someone to talk to. She needed someone. I almost laughed. She cheated on me. In our bed. With my best friend. She made a mistake. That was it. No shock. No outrage. Just those 4 words. She made a mistake, I repeated, stunned. She didn't know how to handle it. She was scared, confused, and she knew exactly what she was doing, I snapped. She wasn't confused when she took off her clothes. She wasn't scared when she lied to my face for months. Mom's lips pressed tight. Like I was the one making a scene. She told me it only happened once. And that makes it okay. She said she tried to tell you the truth after, but you left. I slammed my hand on the table. Because I walked in on them. What was left to say? Her eyes welled up. You don't understand, baby. She was hurting. And she didn't want to lose you. I stood up. So she screwed my best friend and came crying to you for sympathy. She didn't know what else to do, Mom whispered. I stared at her, heart pounding. And you chose her. I didn't choose anyone, she said quickly. I just didn't want to lose both of you. But she had. She just didn't realize it yet. That night I went back to my apartment, but I didn't sleep. I kept replaying it all. The way she looked at me like I was the problem. Like I was being unreasonable for cutting them off. Like I owed Hannah closure. Like I owed her understanding. I opened a new message to Mom, typed out 100 versions of, I can't do this anymore, then deleted every one. Instead, I scrolled back, way back, and there it was. Last year's birthday. Hannah had posted a picture of us at dinner. Mom commented, you guys are my favorite couple ever. Don't you dare mess this up, winking face. Now I wondered who she was talking to. A few days passed. I stayed quiet. Then I got a call from my cousin, Rachel. She works at the florist near town. Hey, she said, casual. Weird question, did you and Hannah get back together? I nearly dropped the phone. What? I saw your mom picking up an order with Hannah the other day. Thought maybe. I don't know. My throat went dry. What kind of order? I asked. Looked like centerpieces. There were table numbers. I hung up without saying goodbye. Then I drove. Fast. I got to the flower shop in under 10 minutes. Walked straight in and asked for the manager. Told her I was trying to track down an order placed by my mom. Gave her the name. She looked it up. Yep. Pickup was yesterday. Big order, 12 table centerpieces, bridal bouquet, boutonnieres. Is there a name on the account? I asked, but I already knew. She turned the screen. Hannah B. Underneath, wedding, April 27th. My stomach hit the floor. Hannah was getting married. And my mom helped plan it. The worst part, April 27th was supposed to be our wedding date. I don't remember the drive home. Just the shaking. My hands on the steering wheel like they weren't mine. Vision tunneled. Breath tight. I kept seeing the date. April 27th. Over and over. Like it was burned into my eyelids. That wasn't just a wedding date. That was our date. We picked it after a stupid inside joke. Her lucky number was 4, mine was 27. It felt like fate back then. Now it felt like a punch in the gut. I sat in the parking lot of my apartment for what felt like hours. Just staring at the cracks in the dashboard. And when my phone buzzed again, I didn't even have to look. I already knew who it was. Mom, can we talk, please? Just 5 minutes. I should have blocked her right there. But I needed to hear it from her mouth. I needed to see if she had the nerve to lie to my face again. She met me at a diner off Route 12. The kind of place we used to get pancakes at when I was a kid. It was almost empty. Just a waitress and 2 old guys arguing over the TV. She was already there, waiting in the booth. Her eyes lit up like nothing had happened. I slid in across from her, arms crossed. Just tell me the truth, I said. She didn't even pretend not to know what I meant. Didn't act confused. Didn't play dumb. She sighed. She asked for help. She didn't have anyone else. You planned her wedding, I said, barely above a whisper. She was alone. She didn't want it to be you two's date, but it was already reserved, and you helped her marry someone else. On our date, Mom looked down at her coffee. She's marrying Trevor. My head dropped. I laughed, one of those bitter, broken laughs that you feel in your chest. Of course she is, I muttered. Of course it's Trevor. My best friend. My ex-best friend. The guy who used to play Xbox with me until 3 a.m. The guy who gave the toast at our engagement party. He was probably giving another one next week. I looked up at her. You didn't just stay neutral. You chose her. You chose them. She winced. It wasn't like that. No. I asked, voice cracking. You didn't sit there and help her pick out flowers. You didn't smile through cake tastings and call it healing or some crap. Her eyes filled with tears. I didn't know what else to do. She was sobbing in my kitchen. She said she ruined everything, that she never meant to hurt you. Stop, I said. My throat was closing. You know what she did. You know what he did. And you helped them. You rewarded them. I just wanted peace, she whispered. There's no peace in betrayal, I said. I didn't touch my food. She kept talking. Rambling. Excuses, half apologies, guilt that smelled more like self-pity. She needed someone, she kept saying. Like I was nobody. Like my pain was inconvenient. A speed bump in her need to play saint. I finally stood up. Dropped a 20 on the table. She didn't ruin my life, I said. You did. Her face broke. Eyes wide, mouth open. She reached out, but I stepped back. I'll never forgive you for this, I told her. Not just because you helped her. But because you watched me fall apart and still chose her. Then I walked out. Didn't look back. A week later, I got the wedding invitation. Not to attend. But as a joke. No return address. Just an envelope with my name and a card inside. Gold foil letters. Elegant font. Trevor and Hannah, April 27th. My mom's name was listed under family support and guidance. I stared at it until my hands started shaking. Then I burned it. Right there in the sink. Flames licking the corners, curling their perfect little lies into ash. I didn't go to the wedding. Obviously. But Rachel texted me pictures. Mom smiling in the front row. Hannah in a dress that looked suspiciously like the one she picked out with me. Trevor beaming like the snake he is. They looked happy. And my mom? She looked proud. Like she hadn't gutted her own son to play wedding planner. That night, I packed a bag. I left town the next morning. Didn't tell anyone. Didn't look back. It wasn't about running. It was about surviving. Because if I stayed, I would have burned the whole place down. I stayed gone for 3 months. No texts. No calls. Nothing. I rented a small place 2 states over. 1 bedroom, barely furnished. Just me, a mattress on the floor, and a busted coffee machine. And for the first time in years, I could actually hear myself think. But thinking hurt. Because I couldn't stop replaying it. How she smiled in those wedding photos like nothing had happened. How she hugged Hannah. How she stood behind them on my day, like it was a damn redemption story. I wasn't just mourning a relationship. I was grieving my mother. Because the woman who raised me wouldn't have done this. At least, I used to believe that. Then one night, I got a voicemail. From Dad. Hey, he said. Voice tired. I know you don't want to talk. I get it. But there's something you should know. About your mom. About why she did what she did. He paused. Took a breath. She didn't tell you everything. Click. No details. No follow-up. Just enough bait to set my chest on fire. I called him back 2 hours later. He picked up on the first ring. I wasn't supposed to say anything, he said. But I can't watch this tear you up anymore. I braced myself. What are you talking about? He sighed again. She and Hannah, they stayed in touch. Even before the breakup. I froze. What do you mean before? Dad went quiet. I could hear the clink of ice in a glass on his end. Then, back in January. You and Hannah had that rough patch, right? Yeah. I remembered. Work stress, arguments, a couple nights where she didn't come home. She showed up at the house one night crying, he said. Said you'd accused her of cheating. That she was scared you were pulling away. I sat there, mouth dry. She didn't just show up, Dad continued. Your mom invited her in. Let her stay the night. I blinked hard. What? She slept in the guest room. Next morning, they had coffee. Talked for hours. After that, they stayed in touch. Called each other. Texted. Your mom thought she was helping. Helping. She was coaching her. She was helping her spin the story while I was breaking apart inside. I wanted to scream. But all I could say was, why the hell didn't you stop her? I tried, he said, low. But you know your mom. Once she gets an idea in her head, he trailed off. She decides who the victim is, I finished. Yeah, he said. Quiet. Exactly. I hung up and just sat there in the dark. My hands were shaking again. Like they always did when I thought about them. It wasn't just betrayal anymore. It was conspiracy. She didn't stumble into it. She chose it. From the beginning. She heard both sides, saw what was happening, and still backed the person who destroyed me. It all made sense now. The instant defense. The brunches. The wedding planning. She never saw me as the victim. Because I wasn't easy to pity. I was angry. Loud. Cut her off. Hannah cried. Hannah made herself small. Hannah knew exactly how to win her over. And it worked. A week later, I sent her a letter. Not a text. Not a call. A printed, signed letter. I told her I knew everything. Told her dad spilled the truth. Told her how I felt when she helped plan their wedding on my date. I didn't ask for an apology. I told her I didn't need one. Because this wasn't about forgiveness anymore. It was about drawing a line. You made your choice, I wrote. And now I'm making mine. I ended it with one sentence. You're not my safe place anymore. No response. Not for days. Then a package showed up at my door. Inside, a shoebox filled with photos. Me and her. Birthdays. School dances. My graduation. Her hugging me at college drop-off. And one note. In her handwriting, I'm sorry you feel like you lost me. But I never stopped loving you. That was it. No ownership. No confession. Just a soft knife wrapped in sentiment. I put the photos back in the box. Sealed it shut. Dropped it in a closet and haven't opened it since. Because love without loyalty means nothing. She didn't lose me because she loved Hannah. She lost me because she stopped fighting for me. A year passed. I kept waiting for it to stop hurting. Waiting for a day when I'd think about her and not feel that cold weight in my chest. But it never came. You don't heal from something like that. You just learn how to walk with the limp. I moved again. Changed jobs. New apartment. New number. I didn't even tell my dad where I went, only left a note with a P.O. box. And for a while, it worked. I built something that felt like peace. Even if it was a little hollow around the edges. But then last month, I got a message. From Rachel. Hey. Thought you should know, your mom's in the hospital. It was nothing dramatic. Minor heart issue. They kept her for observation, ran tests. She was fine. But Rachel said she was asking for me. I told her no. Hard no. Then a week later, another message. She's getting discharged. Keeps saying she wants to talk. She wrote you a letter. I didn't respond. But the letter came anyway. 3 pages. Handwritten. Carefully worded. Full of soft apologies and emotional landmines. She said she missed me every day. Said she thought she was doing the right thing. Said she didn't realize how much damage she'd done. And at the end, can we start over? I stared at that line for an hour. Because part of me wanted to. God, so much. But another part, the part that bled out on her kitchen floor while she hugged the girl who ruined my life, that part knew better. She didn't get to hit rewind. Not after setting fire to everything and walking away with a smile. So I wrote her back. 1 page. I didn't ramble. Didn't yell. Just told her the truth. That I'm not angry anymore. I'm not waiting for her to understand. And I'm not carrying her mistakes around with me like anchors. I told her I hope she's okay. That I hope she sleeps well at night. And that I'm done trying to fix what she broke. Then I ended it with this. I didn't lose a mother. You gave me away. And that was it. No goodbye. No promise to reach out. Just silence. It's been 4 weeks since I sent it. No reply. No call. Nothing. And weirdly, that's what made it feel final. Because for the first time since this whole thing began, I felt empty. Not broken. Not raw. Just, done. It's strange, what betrayal does to you. It doesn't always explode. Sometimes it just erodes you. Quiet. Subtle. One tiny compromise at a time. Until one day you realize the person who was supposed to protect you, raised you, would rather keep their image intact than face what they did. So yeah. I walked away. From Hannah. From Trevor. From her. And maybe that makes me cold. But honestly, I've never felt more free.